Hey there, good people. Good morning from Dhaka, Bangladesh. It's pretty late night here. It's around 2:45 a.m. here. I'm doing two videos. This is the second one, and I have just finished one video which was about holiday, vacation mood fragrances, basically chill, blue, fresh, this kind of list, which people like to watch. So 10 fragrances. Check out that list. So this second episode, I'm going to do video for two reasons. Okay, the video is going to be about compliments. Okay, and why do I want to do this video? First thing, a lot of questions asked in my group. Sometimes I don't get performance from this. I heard so much hype about this perfume, it doesn't get any performance issue, like performance on me, or people never compliment me. I never got. So mostly is it just overhype and it's just like all fake and stuff. So this is one big question that people ask. I like to tackle this, because I don't represent all the reviewers, because my type of work is different than many of the other ones, but at the same time I belong in the community in a way. So I would like to discuss. Second thing is, I don't have any new fragrances. I have one perhaps arriving tomorrow, a brand new release. That one I cannot wait for it, man. That's an exciting one. But let me keep that as a secret and a little bit, suspense. Okay. So late night, I had every day. Why I'm very happy today. It's not going to be a review, so let me just tell you why I look happy. I personally broke my record of 22,000 steps, which I did until now in my 44 years. I think last year in winter I did 22,000. Okay, today I did 20 something 4 5,000 steps, and that was crazy, man. I don't know what got to me, morning, night. I just really enjoyed my steps, so I'm feeling uplifted. Is it dopamine that released in the brain when you walk? I sweated. It feels good, like stay active. And then I got so much other activities done, shopping, went somewhere, meet some people, as well as have like my late night dinner. So everything just, combined, it was a good day, and I'm feeling physically better. That's the best feeling ever. Don't have headaches, don't have dull, sleepy, all this. Okay, so I look happy. So thank God for that. He all the praise belongs to him. So I want to do this video also because, as I was saying, I did not buy so many perfumes because I have to be practical. This month we have holiday, so half of the month will be gone in holiday, and there won't be any real sales or whatever. So I don't plan to buy that many fragrances to invest in. I will just mostly do lists and this kind of videos and some of the other stuff. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, so first of all, why don't I get performance from fragrances when reviewers say they are beast mode? I don't get beast mode. So this kind of things, it's a little bit sad. Okay, it has been tackled before by many other reviewers, but let me just be honest with you. Okay, and I always am honest. I don't have to say that, but frankly speaking, there are some reasons behind it. First reason, reformulation. Maybe the batch the reviewer reviewed was the very first batch. It was beast mode. It's possible. They do reformulation of fragrance. You guys know this. This is not a myth. Every single company, after a success, they will dilute it and they'll sell it for even more price. Creed, Dior, everybody does that. So when you get perhaps the second or third batch, maybe it's not as good. Sometimes people complain about Hawas doesn't perform. I am so lucky. Even my new batches of Hawas Ice, no performance issue. I can detect it with even my blocked nose. Okay, so problem is sometimes also you go nose blind and your expectation is sky high. Let's say you are expecting like a fragrance like Hawas Ice to perform like Ombre Nomade. It's not going to happen. Those are darker, stronger perfumes. In your country, perhaps the heat and humidity, the pollution, the smoke, the noise, everything, like the dirt, everything is just so much that fragrances do not survive. Okay, like due to humidity, mostly humidity, you sweat a lot and you'll be like feeling like a little bit thirsty all the time. This kind of weathers, maximum fragrance, even CD name and the beast ones, they will not last. The reason being, fragrances hate, unless it's few fragrances like Ganymede or Mega Mare. Those are different, those are exceptions, but on most part, if you Polo Blue, Versace's and all, no matter how much you spend on them, they're not gonna last. Okay, and the ones they last, they can get headache inducing, right? So you have to understand these things. So why don't fragrances last on you? This is why. Okay, a reformulation possible, the weather, your skin chemistry, your senses. Sometimes you get nose blind so quickly. It's there, others can smell it but you can't, so you get really mad. Okay, so these are all possible. So avoid the ones they don't work with you. Okay. And also, if you find the fragrance are too overhyped and too expensive for this kind of shady performance, stop investing. Don't blame the industry, don't blame the hype. You are the one who's spending the money, no one is forcing you, right? So I would just frankly say, just there's no pressure on you. If you feel the fragrance game is overhyped and the fragrance game is too expensive, you can always go back to your other hobbies, you can enjoy. But I know one thing, that people keep coming back and back, and they cannot hold the temptation. I know many people, they say, this right here isn't going to be my last purchase. I stop collecting, I don't want to buy any more Carolina Herrera Good Girl flankers. When the next one comes out, they will run and buy at full retail, and they're like, they look guilty, they look down, they're like, I know, don't say anything. I fell for that white beautiful snow, like that theme bottle. I just wanted it for the bottle. Those people are guilty AF. So if you are one of them, you are guilty. Do not blame the hype. But on most parts, some fragrance not worth it, because they just release the same fragrance. Let's say limited edition, elixir, absolute. It's true. Okay, it is true. Sometimes I also fall victim to it. I buy it out of hype, and I'm like, oh my god, the opening is a little bit changed, but the same old DNA on that write down. So keep this in your mind. Test a perfume. Do not blind buy. Okay, blind buy is all on you. Okay, so why fragrances do not last? Because of that. Sometimes what happens is, some fragrances get stronger over time, like Dior Intense, Valentino Wo Intense. They can get better. Keep this in your mind. Okay, there are two kind of fragrances: freshies and dark ones and sweet ones, right? The freshies, in long term, they may turn stronger, but there's a high risk the top note will go off. I have experienced this many times, and I will tell you, like Versace Purom, I tried a vintage batch. Oh man, off-putting opening. The off-opening became alcoholic or something very disgusting. So freshies do not go for very old vintage batch. Sometimes they can go bad. But if it turns out to be like a dark fragrance like Leighton or Herod, older batches, older the better. Like they get really, really strong. Even Aventus, great fragrance. And one thing about creeds, I never found any creed gone bad so far. I don't know how. So their quality is very good. So basically, keep it in mind. You have to give a little bit time and be a little bit patient with the fragrance. When you bought it, instantly don't judge it to spray and you sell it off. All the loss is going to be on you, right? So give it some time, keep it in your collection for a while, if you are willing to. And you'll see slowly, maybe you'll say, some people come back and they say, no, actually shit was bad, but now I can live with it, and then start actually falling for it, right? So there you go, those tips. So now coming to the most chased, myth or unicorn is compliments. I love discussing this, tackling this so many times, and I don't do any official research before making these videos, and I go at one shot. I don't have any script, nothing. So I'll tell you what my heart tells me. I How many compliments I got in my life? Do I get so many compliments? And are fragrances actually worth like paying so much money to get compliments? It all depends. This is the answer. Okay, take it from me, and this is real life, from real life. um, some fragrances I never bought for compliments. Kuros, I never was looking for compliments from YSL Kuros, Opium Purum. There's certain type. I enjoy the complexity. I enjoy the animalic, and not animosity. It's like animality. I think that's the word. I enjoy the raw power of powerhouses. Bogart Purum, Oud, one man's story, no one man show Oud edition. These fragrances I never bought to get attention. I know they smell extremely strong, and they are sometimes dark, sometimes they are very bold. So I never usually get compliments, but sometimes things happen. And I'll tell you a story. I was once, like 5, 6, 7 years back, I was in one restaurant, Chinese restaurant. I said this before. I was wearing Kuros, and I had no intention to wow anybody because it's a scary one, right? So I wore definitely 8 to 10 sprays. I was full of Kuros, and I entered into the whole restaurant. There are like few tables, right? Some tables were empty, and in the middle, sometimes there were like group of people. So at one table, one of these ladies was sitting, and she was part of this group. They are in the 40, 50, this, I don't want to say auntie or anything, because that would make me uncle. So I'm sorry, 44. I try to make myself, like try to mock myself, but I feel still young, right? No, not really. I feel old, but I feel old or young. Sometimes I'm confused, right? Anyway, so back to the story. So I was entering the room, and moment you enter somewhere, if you're wearing kuros, that many sprays, you'll fill up the whole restaurant. That's true if they have AC. And when I was going to sit, I was going to meet a friend, and when I was going to sit, and immediately, the AC hit, and one of the ladies, she looked, from there, and then she looked not with admiring or anything. Just she just looked, like, who's that? Because I'm different than everyone else. What they're wearing, Savage, Aquadicios, CK1. And then I know, because I pick up these signals, right? So it's not like I had any intention, because I was in a relationship that time, but I noticed that that fragrance got noticed, and there was not like, it was more like a man entered, so that smell, maybe her husband wore it, or someone, her father wore it. So there you go. So that's one instant. I'm just giving you examples. Another time I wore Invictus Intense. Similar story. Maybe a lady somewhere in her 40s, she passed me by, and she smelled it. I was wearing this on my neck on my date, and my ex was sitting right in front of me. And this lady came with her bodyguard, very big shot VIPs, right? And I know she smelled me. She's like, and she smelled, and she sat right there, and she was like facing me. I was facing this way, and she was facing this way, right? And I know that she looks once in a while, because that fragrance was new, and it had booze, it has sweetness, it has spices, and that fragrance was aggressive. Invictus Intense, I miss that perfume so much. If I knew it's going to discontinue it, I would get like a backup bottle. But anyway, good memories of it. So these are silent kind of compliments, but there are other types. Sometimes people feel like, hey man, nobody's noticing. Some of the people are like aggressive. They get really frustrated. Hey, I put deodorant intense. People said it's great. Where are my effing compliments? And you go ask people. Like, let's say you ask your friend, or you ask your girlfriend, or your mate. Like they say, hey bro, you smell me? And then they'll be like, out of courtesy or whatever reason, they'll say, yeah, it smells nice. Then they tell you. So this is the other type. One is unsolicited compliment. What's that word? Unsolicited. I don't know. I'm not sure about the word, but one thing is, naturally people give you compliments. They smell you, and then it's like a natural reaction. Sometimes when you ask, so they either give you a false compliment out of pressure, or they give you after asking, right? So some people, they do that, like Jeremy's video you've seen, like he goes to like some of the other young reviewers. They go to women, on the street, or Robin James asking people like, do you think this is nice? What's your signature scent? So people then give. So that's a culture thing. Okay. Some of the cultures, some of the countries are very open. They are very nice. They are very open. Like they do salsa, they do dance, they have a colorful, vibrant culture, right? So there's no taboo. People go out, they're free, they're allowed to dress any way they want. They can wear a bikini and then just walk, through the street, and people are not gonna be like ogling at them like, imagine that happening in some part of the world. Forget bikini, a short skirt, like guys, oh my god, even if you're wearing pants and normal like tank top, whatever you call those, like tops, sleeveless, people will like arms, that the heartbeat will go high. So this kind of culture we have a little bit different, like people are kind of shy on most part. If they have like religious countries, like they have Islamic countries, so people are a little bit more reserved or preserved. People, even if they smell you smell great, but that culture didn't develop, that people are so outgoing or extrovert, they'll come up and gain the courage. Let's say a girl wants to approach a guy and say, you smell nice, they usually, out of 10, 9 girls wouldn't do it. Do you know why? Because there's a risk involved. What if this guy smells nice, but he's a D-bag, and this guy's not a good guy? And what if he takes the signal for, oh, I am open, hit me, So there are a lot of reasons. So the independence, the respect, the culture thing sometimes don't allow you to give or get compliments. Maybe she thinks you look good, but she's shy. Or maybe he thinks she's cute, but he wouldn't approach because he is used to like facing backlash, like say, probably get slapped, or probably say, how dare you? Who do you think you are? Imagine someone say, hey, like, did you look at your face? This kind of things happen with guys. So guys are not going to approach women like that unless you're a smooth operator. You are a player. If you're a player, you're going to be like all smooth, hey, and you go this fake voice. I'm seeing this in Gen Z. A lot of these young boys do it. They try to act like a man. They will dress up. They will keep beard, like just growing beard, and they have this heavy glasses, and just like, hey, I just would like to, this fake voice. You hear it a lot nowadays. Like they go and try to act all alpha male, like, Hey, I just noticed you sitting right there and you smell really great. And it's at one point they start talking like this. And I think you are just dope, you know? So I find this funny because these are like fake, right? But naturally, I would imagine if you want to approach someone and give a compliment, make it natural. Let's say I hear these stories in states like you have Costco and what are the other ones, Tesco. So when let's say some ladies are working, they're just working, they're independent, they don't have to care for courtesy and stuff. Let's say a guy came in, like for his grocery, and he looks like a nice, charming, friendly guy, and he smells good with his Dracar Noir, and the lady likes it on him. Goes like, "Hey, bro, what? Hey, no, I'm not gonna call you bro." They will say, "Hey, man, you smell great." I just like to say, "You smell nice." Good perfume. So you feel good. It's a natural compliment. It's a real one. And maybe if she asks for your number, man, double bonus. But in general, uh, we are not in the lucky, men are not in that lucky side of things because women have it so much more easier for them because women, if they are semi attractive or they are good looking, decent, they will always get asked by guys. But how many times like women ask out men on a bar, or club, guys like they're like trying so hard, man, how do I meet a girlfriend, how do I meet someone? They don't know, and then unless they're so lucky someone approach them. Sometimes some guys stay single for the rest of their life, they're just in the matrix. So imagine, unless you look like Keanu Reeves, you will not be approached so easily. Okay, it's the guys who have to work the most, so it's not really fair world, I would say, for guys. They have to ask someone out first. I know this is the rule of dating. You have to ask someone out, otherwise, she's never gonna ask you. Why can't ladies ask guys? If you like someone in the workplace, office, and you met someone nice through friends, social media, you can ask guys out. You can knock them. It's not gonna make you look any like desperate or anything. I don't think so. If the guy is nice, they will appreciate it and they'll respect it, and I think it's a nice thing. I think there should be some sort of, if not equality, there should be equity. Why the guy has to pay all the bills? The lady can take the check and say, hey, let me take care of you. Oh man, that is so sexy. I do sound like that guy in Spread movie. What's his name, the Channel V guy, right? Anyway, Ashton Kutcher. I love that movie, Spread. And I'll just be honest with you, let me just go outside the topic a little bit. I love that movie. I was a naughty one. I loved when someone would say, I'll pick you up. There's nothing sexier than women picking you up. Oh, imagine someone drove to your house and pick you up for a date. Man, those are something like made of dreams and stuff. I like that. But I'm not saying that everybody's gonna get it unless you are that personality, or you got the looks, or you have the charm, or you won her heart. It's all about, fragrance, may it be dating scenario, it's all about your personality. Women fall in love with your confidence, your personality, your genuineness. If you're fake, you're just always like that guy's voice, hey babe, what's up? No, nothing's going to happen for you unless she's bimbo. But uh, naturally, if something authentic about you, let's say you have this charm of authenticity, you speak from heart, you speak from passion. Like, let's say you're describing a perfume. I do love new channels, or any channel, maybe they're not so huge, but when they describe a fragrance, I wish I could do what they're doing. I love those stories they tell. I love how they describe a perfume, like, hey man, this one time I wore this fragrance and it took me to this Manhattan, then I remembered my father I was with. So these are amazing stories. This is how you enjoy a fragrance, and you can tell where is cool water, like coming from, where this guy's Dracar Noir story related. So these things make everything beautiful. There's nothing sexier than honesty. There's nothing more sexy than something genuine. If I find it in a person and I know they're genuine and they're good persons, man, I have massive respect for them. Maybe I got corrupted over the years, 44 years old. Sometimes I am a little bit narcissistic. Sometimes I have to protect myself. I have to be a little bit evil. I have to be not open with people 100% because you do not know who has what intention, what they have in their mind. But coming back to compliments, you will be able to tell. Like, let's say, oh, this one thing I want to tell you. Let's say I got one time, like this compliment. There was this guy. Okay, I was having tea in one of the winters, and I was wearing perhaps Paco Rabanne Pure Access or something like that, but it was very heavy, right? So this guy came over and just say, he was a good looking guy. He was young, good looking guy. He just came over and say, "Hey, bro," he just tapped, and I said, "Yeah, what's up?" He says, "Man, your perfume is nice. What's the name?" I'm like, "Agora Pure Access." He says, "That is a nice perfume. Where can I buy it?" And he says, "You smell really, really good." And I know, because now 44, you can tell who's hitting on you. That guy was hitting on me in a way, hard to believe, but yeah, it happens in Bangladesh now. So maybe he likes man, I don't know, but I felt honored, like someone appreciate your perfume, and then he thought like, you're worthy of approaching. Even though I'm straight, but I appreciate the honor. So when people compliment you, don't feel threatened like, hey man, my manhood is getting threatened. No such thing. Nobody's going to force you to become this, but your identity is with you. Whatever you do, it's your choice, it's your independence, right? So end of the day, fragrance compliments are not myths. It happens sometimes. It depends on who you are, the place, the culture, the time. Let's say you're stuck in the lift. I have one of our neighbors here. She always asks me, she is married, she has children, but she is still like, she's, I think, my age or younger. She always say, "Bhaiya, like brother, you always smell nice. You like perfumes?" I say, "I do work with fragrances," and she stopped me many times. Like the lift already. She left. She lives in the second or third floor, I think, second floor, yeah, and I live somewhere up. But she always hold the door and say, "Hey, talk." Then I just come out and talk to her. Sometimes it's nothing naughty. I know she's married and all, but sometimes people do genuinely appreciate your effort. Let's say you shower every day, and then you put in effort, and you always are nice to people, polite, friendly. People take that into account, right? So keep that in mind. If you are a rude person, if you don't shower, if you are always dirty, and you don't cut your nails, and then these are the things, man, not nice. And also, there is this confidence thing of guys. Always remember, one of the sexiest thing in the world is money. If you don't have it, women can tell. This is a rude world. It's a shrewd world, and it's so tragic. But if you don't have money, no one is going to care for you. People will leave you in a jiffy. They will not care for you unless they're a genuine person, which are very rare. Honest and rare people, very rare. Like honest and genuine person, like caring person, very rare in the world. You'll never find, like in the streets, like so many women who are trustworthy. You can get married. Even the guys, you cannot trust them, because the world now, we're all corrupted. Okay, because we do not know what we want, who we are, and we harm people even knowingly. So it's difficult. But always remember, work for your career. Always make sure you take care of yourself, and you do not look for mercy or opportunity all your life and blame others. You have to work out, go out there, and then struggle, and you have to believe in something. Let's say you are doing this little project of a burger or something joint. Do it with pure soul and work like a mofo, like work like this. Okay, and I'm sorry, it was a little bit aggressive. Sorry about that. But you work. What I'm trying to say, you have to have passion when you want to put your fire out there, and prove a point. Someday success will come to you. It's not maybe today, not tomorrow, maybe 10 years down the line. If you don't stop believing, it's going to happen. So fragrances are good compliments along the way to make a man smell great. But at the same time, you have to have something of your own, which are like genuine and real, and also worthy, that people will actually respect you. So all the facts together: nice watches, nice dress up, nice shoes. I don't have nice shoes, but in general, I think I'm a nice person. I don't treat people badly. So people will be attracted to you, right? So all these facts together, then add the points, two fives, like this, three makes 10, right? Two fives, yeah, eight, yeah. So that's the game. But always also remember, do not be disappointed if you do not get a perfume, like a compliment from a fragrance. It's not the fault of the fragrance. Maybe it's just your surrounding. People are not as friendly. Maybe they're jealous, and they're just egoistic. If you're surrounded by toxic people, oh, I'm sorry, man, that's worse than heat and humidity or flies or smoke, dirt. I just want to live somewhere where people are nice, kind. They are just big hearted people. I really wish, that's my dream. Wherever it is, I don't want to say particular in states or Dubai, anywhere, but people are nice. They respect your boundary. They respect who you are. For it doesn't matter where you came from or what you look like, what your skin color, but people in general, they maintain that distance and the respect. I I fall for it. Love respecting people who are respectable. I love nice people. May it be uh, like a guy who's very rich or not, it doesn't matter. What attracts me from people towards people is their kindness. If you have that, you already winning. You won in life. Okay, so be a good person, and everything else will work out great. Do not be a corrupt person. Like, I'm going to be this playboy. I'm going to get all the girls in the world, and I can have one after another. I never ever say those are things, but sometimes being naughty is not bad. If you're young and a little bit reckless. I was young once, so no blame. You learn only by making mistakes. But anyway, enjoy your life, be happy, and if you're playing perfume game, fragrance game, enjoy it. If you're not enjoying it, I mean, there's no point. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you let me know your feedback. Take care. See you soon. Bye bye.